Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed lunch and we are ready to broaden the horizon of today's geographical scope. You've already heard great examples from Estonia, also from Finland, but now let's move to Portugal, Latvia and Lithuania and see how these countries, communities and cities are making the shift to renewable energy. The next panel is moderated by Andres Jaadla, who is the Estonian National Ambassador for Covenant of Mayors. Andres, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Johannes. I try to moderate this panel and be more realistic here and ask maybe more question and feedback for auditorium. But first of all, let's introduce our panelists. If Johannes have said, we have quite strong representative of Portugal, like South. First of all, please hear Miss Dalila Sepúlveda. And when I ask this, the Portuguese people say, if you say the Portuguese family name, you must smile over or Sepúlveda. So you can try. Thank you, Dalila. Next, from the same city of Guimarães is Mr. Joaquim Carvalho. Please. And Joaquim is Municipal Director of Energy and Climate Change, Municipality of Guimarães. And Dalila is Head of Environmental Division, same municipality, Municipality of Guimarães. Please sit down. And next we go to our closest neighbor to the Baltics is Jānis Ikaunieks, Director of Riga Energy Agency. Please, Jānis. And we go a little to south to the all Baltic states is here, is Mr. Mindaugas Sinkevičius, Mayor of City of Jonava, please, and Jonava District Municipality, and same time President of Association of Local Authorities in Lithuania. If you know Jonava more close, Estonia will know Jonava is the closest city of Kaunas. You know, Kaunas is well known in Baltics in Estonia too. So, in this panel we speak about practical experience. What we really do in the local level in different region. We have representative of South, lot of sun, lot of heat, lot of wind power from the Atlantic Ocean. This is one climate conditions in the south of Europe. The other way we have same windy Baltic Sea area close to Riga to Kaunas. And by myself, I'm Andres Jaadla, representative member of Committee of the Region, former mayor, City of Rakvere, and one of the first signatory of Covenant of Mayors in 2009, together with City of Tallinn. And this is really amazing what's happened in both cities, in Tallinn and in Rakvere, with the last 15 years in process of implementation of Covenant of Mayors goals, what we had already 15 years ago. But go back to the panelists, and I understand, Dalila, you have a nice presentation, short presentation about Municipality of Guimarães, and I know you are one of the top 3 favorites of the next year's Green Capital of Europe. So please, floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. As our surnames, to say Guimarães, you also have to smile, because it's Guimarães, it's like sun. I'm pleased to be here with my municipal director in the name of the Municipality of Guimarães. I'm very proud to be in the Green Capital Award of Tallinn. Congratulations. And Covenant of Mayors to invite us to be here today to talk about Guimarães, that we say that is a city built by citizens. All our politicians are with the citizens. That's why we say that we are a city made by citizens. Let me see if I can do this.
Yes, you can change
Yes.
slides, yeah?
Guimarães is in the north of Portugal, is near of Porto. It's a medium city. It's like 160,000 inhabitants. Is a city of nature, is a city of heritage, is a city of knowledge, science, and political commitments. Our territory is very challenged. So we have make a governance ecosystem. We are making a climate policy and monitoring that climate. We have created a landscape laboratory that is an institution that the mayor, Domingos Bragança, in 2013 decided to create a landscape laboratory with 2 universities, so that all the political evidences was making by evidence-based decision-making and participatory good practice. This is our journey toward climate neutrality. We were in 2001, Heritage, our historic center is World Heritage. In 2012, we were European Capital of Culture. In 2013, we were City of Sports. But, as I say, the mayor, Domingos Bragança, in 2013, he decided to include the environmental issues into the political agenda. So he asked University of Minho to make environmental diagnosis. He created a landscape laboratory. And in 2015, we also created a big and huge environmental program in schools, in 100 schools, more than 5,000 activities per year that we do. In 2018, we also created our governance ecosystem, bringing together the academy, the stakeholders, the politicians, all the politicians, the schools, the citizens, the business. We came all together to bring this climate journey. But in 2019, Joaquim Carvalho, expecting that energy, it will be a problem in Europe, he decided to create the energy office in the municipality, because at that time it was outside, was making the energy thinking about the municipality. But now we have an office inside of the municipality that thinks the energy efficiency in the municipality and in the city. In 2021, we created also the Reciclo, that is our strategy for circular economy. And in 2022, we are one of the 100 cities of Net Zero Cities, European Mission. We also are certifying for Zero Waste Europe, and we also are pilot in CCREI, Circular Cities Regions Initiative. And in 2023, we candidate and we were selected to be pilot as a test, like a district, like the district that we saw yesterday, but in the historic center. It's a district to make tests to be climate neutral. And we are very proud, so in 2023, that we are in the shortlist. So next month we'll be here very nervous. And in 2030, we want to finish this green transition. And in 2015, we want to be eco-citizens. This is our governance ecosystem. These networkings were very important to us to monitoring. Covenant of Mayors, we assigned in 2013. And we always, every year, we monitorize the indicators of Covenant of Mayors. We made the Sustainable Energy Plan, we made our SECAP too, and it was very important, these commitments, these plans to our climate journey. We have the European missions, we are in adaptation, we are in the Circular Cities Declaration too. And this is bottom-up approach. So we have to be monitorized, we have to work with the others, we have to be networking. This is very important to us. It's important to know you and you to share our city and to know other cities. Our landscape laboratory is a research and development institution, and if the energy was a subject that in 2021 started in the schools, so the students are now educated for energy too. It's very important that they know what is energy efficiency now in the schools. To guide our greening policies, we also calculate our ecological footprint. We are three worlds. We are not so good. 3 worlds, it's not so good. So we want to know where is our footprint. Is in transportation, mobility, and in food. It's the highest subjects that we have to deal. So we have to make good practice to under our 3 earth places. Our breakdown sources of energy are mainly electricity in the city, diesel, and natural gas. Municipal activity only represents 1% of the consumptions, but the strategy implemented have reduced the dependence on fossil fuels, and now in the municipal activity we only have 69%. We all have 69% of electricity. We change our cars to electrical cars. We have a problem in Guimarães that the people are used to go by car everywhere. So that was a problem. We have to improve the public transport in Guimarães. So in 2015, we were declared Authority of Local Transport Public. But we were only in 46% of the territory. It was not good. So we make procurement until 2021, and we have electrical buses, and now in 2023, we are in 100% of the territory with public transports. We also made the Metro Minute Guimarães. It's the 50-minute city, but we made this with the students. The students said, where I want to go, where are the most important things to do in Guimarães, what is the best way to go there. And this is in every city. And we have also, in the construction, we have also the sustainable development issues. We build a building, Carbon Near Zero. It's a gymnastic academy. Who is electric, solar, it has a reservoir of water, it has cork, it has LEDs, it's near Carbon Near Zero. And we also are fighting energy poverty by investing in social housing, energy efficiency. 2015 houses were refurbished until this year, representing an investment of 3 million euros. And this was a social housing energy performance. But this all is connected. So all the municipality activities are connected in this climate neutral. In our ambitions, we have begun in 2008. In 2020, we reduced 20% of our emissions with our SECAP, but we have to accelerate our transition now. Now we have to go, because we have to reduce until 80% in 2030, and in 2050, we want to be 1 planet city, and not 3 planet city. In waste management, that is a problem either. We have made a zero waste plan, a bio-waste plan, and we have made a roadmap for circular economy with CCRI methodology. We have the strategy for circular economy with textile waste. We are developing lots of subjects, lots of technology in textile waste. Guimarães is a very industrial city. yes, this picture, it was very important to us. We are an industrial city. We have to low down our emissions. The municipality represents only 4% of the emissions of the whole city because we have a big and huge industrial sector. So in 3 months, we call the industrial sector to us. And now they signed a pact with us, 100 business and industrial sector, signed a pact with us that they join this green transition until 2030 with us. We make workshops with them, and we are going to calculate their footprint in their industries and the emissions, the emissions of each industry. We have the District C, that is in the city center. It was an industrial neighborhood. It was culture. We have made with the community. It was culture. We have commitment. We have creativity, and now we put in carbon commitment too. And they will be like, okay, I have to be climate neutral. What can I do? I want to be. Will be a space to pilot, to co-creation, to be with citizens, circular economy, mobility, and energy efficiency.
Known as the birthplace of the Portuguese nation, Guimarães is an historic city that played a crucial role in Portugal's formation and independence. It is well renowned for its culture and heritage. Proud of our past, we are building our future together, protecting and promoting our natural heritage. Just a few minutes from the city, we can find a unique ecosystem. Penha Mountain is 617 meters high, with 60 hectares of green area. It is an impressive and beautiful site, harmonizing two elements of extraordinary importance: religiosity and nature. From here, we can get to the urban city park through Penha Biodiversity Route, where several protected habitats and hundreds of native species of flora and fauna can be found. Arriving at the city park, we find the Gymnastic Academy of Guimarães, an almost zero-carbon building, self-sustaining, representing our commitment to sustainable development. It is the home of hundreds of young athletes who honor Guimarães' recognition as the best European city of sports in 2013. Now we are going to the city's heart, following the Costa Couros River. Here we can also find one of the most outstanding examples of the city's climate change adaptation. We built 3 retention basins with retention capacity and regulation of inflows, solving a problem that has been systematically affecting more than 2,000 people due to the flood events. We are now downtown. The Couros zone, meaning leather zone, is an urban area where tannery was manufactured over several centuries. This is an example of a successful urban rehabilitation, where old factories were transformed into several educational, cultural, and scientific centers. Guimarães enchants us with the beauty of its heritage. It is impossible to be indifferent to it. Welcome to our historic center, classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2001. It is full of history, well preserved, and we can smell the scent of the flowers on balconies as we walk through it. The historic center of Guimarães has an integrated waste management policy involving waste reduction, advocating in circular economy, and increasing sorted collection. This is due to the implementation of a pay-as-you-throw system, where citizens play an active role. In a very short walking distance, we can find hundreds of people gardening in our community gardens, more than 3 hectares, promoting sustainable land use and local food consumption. We are in Veged, an important meadow of the city. Besides the community gardens, we can also find another unique green area where daily hundreds of citizens practice sports and enjoy nature. You can also cross the meadow by bike using our cycling routes, which cover dozens of kilometers and that make a clear commitment to our sustainable urban mobility. If you want to know more about nature and biodiversity, water resources, the circular economy and landscape, follow us to the Landscape Laboratory. This is also another excellent example of rehabilitation. An old factory was transformed into a research and development and environmental education center, a joint venture of Guimarães City Council and 2 major universities in the northern region. As you can see, Veged is one of the most important wetlands of Guimarães, a protected area that combines sport activities, research and development, biodiversity, agriculture and rivers. A pedestrian route along the Have and Seilu River starts here. 51 kilometers, a unique path that helps us to discover hidden natural paradises all over the territory. Do you think this is the end of the journey? No, this is just the beginning. And do you want to know what makes Guimarães so unique? Our identity and sense of belonging. We are all contributing to the transformation of our territory, making it a remarkable place to live and to visit.
Thanks. In my name and my name of my director, we are here for your questions.
Dalila, thank you for this excellent presentation. I really hope you have a really strong chance to be, I see even historical chance to be next green capital of Europe. I see this 2011, Tallinn was capital of culture of Europe, and you have next year capital culture of Europe too. That is, if you follow the same line,
Yes.
probably you have winner this competition. And after then this excellent presentation, I really see this for our audience. This is strong promotion of your city, what you're doing, really strategical, really logical way of build up the sustainable city and sustainable community. But we have here as your colleague from same city too, Joaquim. You have, as director of Municipal, you have more bright view. Maybe you have some comments how you receive this, what we have already seen, or how you plan to implement these big plans that you have in future. Please, Johan.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the invitation to be here. I think Dalila said everything, but I can make some appointments about that. The first world is for the people. As Dalila said, it's impossible to do this without people. But our commitment with people begins in 2012 in the capital of culture, because the theme of capital of culture is you are part of it. That's the big
Slogan.
Slogan.
Yes.
Yes.
You are part of it.
You
Yes.
are part of it. Is the heart, the symbol, and you are part of it. Because without people, we can do nothing. This moment, this is our problem. How we can make people part of it. And because Guimarães has a problem like the other cities: energy, efficiency in the energy, using energy in the buildings, in everything. And you must say to people, okay, and enterprise, you must be with us. We must sign the pact. We must do everything for the climate. And we also have a problem that we are dealing now. This is with the climate and the climate changes, and minimizing the climate changes and adapt for the climate changes. That's our big work now. This is a lot of things to do and a lot of specialities to work about. But we think that the Guimarães are in the good way. As you said, next month will be announced the green, and we will be here to listen. We are in the short list of +3. I hope something happy.
Yes.
Will be announced here. But our way is this. Green capital or not green capital, this is our way. So we will work with people in the trying to be neutral, climate neutral in 2030. It's our big challenge.
Thank you, Joachim. And right now, maybe not to stay, it's just sitting in the auditorium after lunch. You know, it's good to sit in the auditorium after lunch. Maybe we have some questions to our Portuguese speaker. Please, we have not electronic question sending like in first panel, but we have really, I know already during lunch, some people who are preparing some questions. So please, microphone is there. I know this Kerli from Saku Municipality have from the waste management some question. I already know we have, and you mentioned it, Dalila, too, the waste management
Yes.
is very important in your municipality too. And Kerli is part of World Cleaning Day. This is important global view of this. Please, Kerli. I know you have some good questions already.
I don't know if it works. No excuses, right? So hi, I'm Kerli from Saku Municipality. It's near the capital of Tallinn, a small municipality. And I wanted to ask about your challenges or your major challenges. You mentioned textile waste, but what are your major challenges in the waste management if you are trying to become the
Waste certification, yes.
Yeah.
Our main challenge, in Portugal, we have main challenge until 2030 in targets by European Commission. And we have to reduce, now we have to we are now we recycle 40% of our waste. We have to recycle 90%. So this will be zero waste. So we only can, in 2030, we have to recycle packaging waste in 90%. This is our big challenge. Our big challenge too is to reduce waste. We are lower than European countries. We have 4,500 kilos per year, but it's a challenge either to reduce that waste. And now we are trying to make some challenge with the food waste, prevention of the food waste, because we have a lot of food waste that is going to the waste and it's not necessary. So we are making a process with schools, with the canteens in the schools to prevent food waste. We also are trying to make green public procurement by using our agriculture, biologic agriculture in our canteens, and says, okay, this is from Guimarães, you are eating from Guimarães, but you have to reduce what you eat, not what you eat, but what you waste. Please don't waste. It's like that. It's very challenging. We have, in our waste management system, we have 10% of textile waste. It's huge. It's a month, because we have small industries that put that textile, the fibers, in the waste system. So we are trying to make a roadmap of these industries, these small industries, because the big industries, they have a good system of waste management. The problem is the small industries, the industries that don't have a process in waste management. So we are trying to know each of these small industries and try to make a system for them, a municipal system for them, because municipality don't have to collect this waste, but we should have an answer for these small industries. For textile waste of clothes, we are making a funding. We were funding to make a big system to collect clothes waste and shoes. And we have 3 companies in Guimarães that are making circular economy about these clothes and make new products that we give to the people, like bags to the shop markets, textile bags, and says, this is from your clothes. It's to sensibilize and to promote circular economy.
So, thank you very much. This was really professional answer, if you see. The Guimarães really ready to become the green capital of Europe. Every field have very professional answer. But we have time to ask question, the final step of this panel, but let's move to our close neighbors, to Latvia, to Riga, and Jānis Ikaunieks, yeah? Ikaunieks is director of Riga Energy Agency, is ready for presentation. And I don't know what this, the family name already means, that I know this Ikaunieks is Estonia in Latvian.
Yeah.
So almost Jānis Estonian is just start to speak. So Jānis, please, floor is yours.
Yeah, dear colleagues, first of all, I wanted to say thank you very much for the hosts for organizing such a wonderful event. It is a pleasure to be here and actually to see that cities all over the Europe is working. We are working in common aim, and that we are all together in this trip, and that we have the possibility to synchronize our activities and to achieve goals faster. And thank you very much for that. But I will try to explain what we are doing in Riga City, what are our ambitions, and what we have done at the moment, and where we are going forward. I try to be very fast, and if you have any questions afterwards, so keep them in mind, and or also afterwards you can write me. So, of course, I don't think that for you it is needed to explain why climate neutrality is important for municipality. These are very key practical actions for us in Riga City. It is energy efficiency. We need to renovate at least 6,000 buildings, and this is a large amount of multi-apartment residential buildings. And this is not the matter only about climate or energy. This is a matter where our residents will live after 10, 20, 30 years. This is renewable energy, how we can use resources more rational, how we can use resources which we have in place, how we can be energy independent, as mentioned in previous panels. It is very important also for us. Energy crisis struck us very much, and the prices were rocketing very high, and we still feel the impact of that. And also, if we use renewables, we are facilitating our own economy. We are not sending money to other countries, and thank God not to Russia, but still we are sending it away. So it is very important that we use local resources, renewable. And also, as mentioned, colleagues from Portugal, circular economy, this is the question about how we can prolong life of materials which we are using, that we don't buy a plastic bag which we throw away straight away, after we go outside of the market. And this is how we are reducing air pollution in city and how we are adapting to climate change, which we feel already now. And this is underneath one word, climate neutrality. And when we discuss about climate neutrality, these are all practical things, what we understand. I think that at the moment we have synchronized in City Council our Sustainable Energy and Climate Action Plan, and for us it is very ambitious. So these goals are compared with 2019. So that this means that this is just 3 years, 4 years ago, that this is something that happened very recently, and how we can reduce emissions by 30% in whole city of Riga. But for ourselves, for municipality, we want to show the best practice examples for our residents, that we don't push them only to do, but that we are moving much further, and that we are synchronized that municipality will reach climate neutrality by 2030. So this is municipality infrastructure where we as municipality pay for energy. This is our kindergarten, schools, departments, and everything related to everyday operational work of municipality. But where are we now? At the moment, if we compare with 1990, the collapse of Soviet Union, and how we have developed since then, so we have reduced our emissions by 62%. This is mainly because hard fossil oil was replaced with natural gas or biomass. So at the moment in Riga city in 2020, 32% were renewables. During the last heating season, it was already 41% in district heating, and 76% of all multi-apartment buildings are connected to the district heating. So this is very good infrastructure what we have now, similarly as the city of Tallinn. We are working how we can connect more and more residents, how we can facilitate that from municipality point of view, how we can support this transition just. In the same time, in the decentralized heating sector, natural gas still is a popular heat source, but after the war we can see that residents are very keen to install heat pumps in the new buildings. In the existing buildings, maybe not so much, but still there are even some apartments which are asking for permits to install heat pump, which is needed in the city of Riga, for the information that we know what kind of heat sources are in each building or apartment. In general, in Latvia, we have pretty low emission factor for electricity. Most of the electricity is generated in hydroelectric stations, and during the last year, solar panels were installed quite a large amount, and also some wind farms were opened. Therefore, electricity is quite clean already now. It will be much cleaner, and this is proves that electrification already today is a good way how we can reduce emissions. And also the standards for new buildings are very good. Most of the buildings which are built consume not more than 40 kilowatt hours per square meter. And also we are part of European Commission mission to be climate neutral and smart cities by 2030. Of course, this facilitates us to move even further. And we're looking how we can achieve these goals much faster, and how we can implement our actions even more. Challenges, of course, we have to admit that in some sectors this is very hard, and that we don't have all the answers in all of the sectors, especially transportation sector. I think that this is a common issue for all of the cities, that there are some solutions, but in the same time, private transportation, this is something where we as a municipality can build infrastructure or provide possibilities, but in the same time it is very hard, and it is not possible to purchase electric vehicle to all residents. And as colleague from Helsinki city mentioned, this is the main task, is how we can reduce the driven kilometers, which reduces the fuel consumption, which reduces the emissions. But tackling the challenges in transportation sector let us also improve the city in general, how we can make city greener, how we can make it more climate friendly and beautiful. In the same time, we have energy efficiency, one of the largest challenges in multi-apartment buildings. As I mentioned before, there's about 6,000 buildings. And I will explain later how we are tackling these challenges. Also, citizen engagement, that we understand that without residents being on board with us, we can plan, but we will not achieve our goals. Therefore, resident engagement is one of the most critical points. And also zero emission heating. At the moment, we are switching from natural gas to biomass, and then in some places also heat pumps, also in district heating, but we have to look beyond, and the biomass is not the end stop, and this is also one of the challenges. But if we can sum up all together, of course, this is a matter of financing, how we can finance smart. We understand that all of these environmentally friendly technologies during the life cycle, they profit more. This is better solutions, but this is the problem of the cash flow and how we can implement in municipality sustainable financing instruments. Okay, and very, very shortly about each of the sectors. So centralized heating, we have aimed to achieve 90% of renewables by 2030, mostly by biomass fueled boiler houses or cogeneration plants. We understand that these 10%, this is something what peak loads needs to ensure. Most of the part of the city is already fueled by such kind of technologies. We're looking how to implement also solar panels for self-consumption and solar collectors for hot water and other needs. In the same time, we have very close to the seaside, we have a wastewater treatment plant where there's possibility to ensure recovery of the heat from the wastewaters. We have to be honestly, we haven't looked of using of seawater. So this was something new, and this is something what we need to discuss in city of Riga. In this centralized sector, we have zoning of the city, basically based on particulate matter, on the air pollution, which is city center and neighboring areas where private houses or multi-apartment houses heat homes with kilns or ovens. The air quality is poorer, and there we are restricting some of the technologies. But in general, we have prioritized heat sources in city of Riga, the district heating together with the heat pumps and other zero-emission heat sources are the priority. Then biomass, although it emits particulate matter, if you replace existing old inefficient technologies to the new ones, it reduces the particulate matter, and we want to phase out natural gas in decentralized heating, as this is one of the resources which we don't have in Latvia and which we are importing, and how we can move forward. But of course, nobody will be left without heating if there will be possibility. If there will not be possibility to install one of the first three, then of course natural gas will be available. And the idea is that the permits will not be given after 2025 in the whole city of Riga, except for these blue and orange zones. But the permit is in place for 5 years, so that means that by 2030, in general, the new natural gas boilers will not be installed. However, in the city center where the pollution is higher, as you have already some restrictions, the permits will be issued until 2030. So about energy efficiency in multi-apartment buildings, we are operating one-stop shop, how we can help residents from the first consultation till homeowners association meetings, till supporting financially the technical documentation, till other needs, what residents actually ask. The idea is that municipality aim is to renovate these buildings, but the decision is made by residents as this is privately owned, and we are trying to help with it however we are able to achieve a positive result. Also, we have physical meeting places where residents can come and ask questions to the engineers. We go to the buildings, we develop energy audits, technical inspection, and also design of the building will come within different projects. And this is one of them. As I heard, that Tallinn city also has the project of the neighborhoods, and this is something what we are working on. We have had some events of citizen engagement in neighborhoods to facilitate residents, that they try to meet each other, that they try to know get to know their neighbors, because this is the question of the trust, of how they are working together. And during this project, we will renovate one of the neighborhoods together with the indoor yard, partly financed, hopefully from municipality, to pilot how we can assess this in municipality in future. About long-term financing, I will not explain very deeply, so this is quite complicated, but the idea is that also Tallinn city representative mentioned that this is dependent from the European funding, and that if you have the funding, there's the open programs. If you don't have it, there's some stops. But we need to have long-term vision how we can finance energy efficiency in buildings. But we are looking how to not increase the monthly payment, how we can work on long-term and low interest rates. Is it pension funds? Is it some European programs, or is it state budgets? So this is something what we have developed in our Riga energy efficiency concept. And the main idea is that after the renovation, when the building has been renovated, the future payback is forfeited to the pension funds, which can wait 20, 30 years to receive this money, but the municipality receives the investments back straight away, and we can go to the next buildings, and next buildings. So this is the main idea, and of course other concept points, but yeah, we can discuss this later. In the transportation sector, of course, similarly as in the Baltics, we are implementing Rail Baltica, and this is large project connecting railway to Europe, and this comes together with mobility points. And Rail Baltica is crucial infrastructure, how we can reduce emissions and these driven kilometers in the city of Riga, as the main station is developed directly very close to the old center. We are also open to develop low emission zone by 2027, and we are looking how to synchronize this with CO2 emissions, not only particulate matter. We are also developing a lot of new bicycle highways. Some of the highways are built in the existing infrastructure, some of them is built from the scratch, but in the same time, a lot of new infrastructure is developed. And very soon we will start to physically build a metro bus line, which will connect the city center with the outskirts of the city, where the bus is located in transit line, where there's no traffic, that the bus can go similarly as a train. Sorry, I see that something is within the formattation has changed, but the idea is that our municipality has strong aims by ourselves how we achieve climate neutrality. One of this is that we have implemented the energy management system according to the ISO 50001. This is a tool how we implement energy efficiency measures in municipality. And within the energy crisis, we saved during the last heating season about 5 million euros, which were allocated to the climate program, which is once again implemented in development of solar panels, of replacement of lighting, and so on and so on. And the idea is that the more we do in municipality, the more money there is for implementation of another next measures. And also that we have this pipeline where we can attract European funds. This is Horizon 2020 project where we can renovate our municipality building. This is the council building. It consists of two parts. One is like historical, another one is built in 2024 or 2023. Sorry, 2003. And the idea is that within this building we will develop it very smart. Within the glazing there will be solar panels, electrical charging connected to the North Pole spot, and artificial intelligence will control all the parameters in the building. Also other projects regarding circular economy and so on, but as the time is limited, please, if you have any questions, also you can contact me. Thank you.
So, thank you, Jānis, for great presentation, and we can see what is a lot of things going on in Riga too. This is two climate neutral cities in Europe in the podium. This is great. We have strong discussion here, but if time is limited, as you say, maybe we heard the view of our south neighbor, Lithuanian question. Lithuanian neighbors and Mindaugas have, I understand, the 3 point of view about climate neutrality and the energy efficiency in the municipal level. It is in his town, in Jonava, and in this district regional view, and same time as president of Lithuanian Association of Local Authorities, you have like all country view. So please, I understand you have no presentation, but you have some notes here, very clever, important notes. Just please, word is you. What's happening in Lithuania, in your city, in your region, in Lithuania general, please.
Thank you, Andres, and hello, dear colleagues. It's always difficult to talk when you're one of the last talkers, and it's even more difficult when it's after the lunch. So I'll try to focus my speech and bring some points from Lithuania. As you may know, three Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, from time to time tend to compete and also compare themselves in various occasions. Either it's the economy, either it's education, either it's other things. But from a better, broader view, we all do understand, and it's a fact, I looked it through, that actually, if we talk about cities, it doesn't matter which city, in Portugal, in Latvia, in Lithuania, or in some other country, the cities alone in Europe cover just 4% of the land, meaning cities cover just 4% of European continent land. But at the same time, there are homes for 75% of citizens. And of course, due to this fact, the cities both consume over 65% of the world's energy, and at the same time, they account for the 70% of the global CO2 emissions. So, of course, when I heard other colleagues speaking, I can only echo their thoughts and what they are doing in their own cities and municipalities, because more or less we're doing all the same.
Yes.
And actually, it's a good occasion in this event to look at each other and try to feel the temperature. Are you lacking behind, or you're a front runner, or are you somewhere in the middle? But I think that we're all not just purely believers of what we're doing, but we're really implement things that will result in great success for the future generations. So Yes, I'm one of the mayors of my country. We have 60 municipalities all in all. I'm also the president of Association of Local Authorities in Lithuania, meaning that all municipalities are under one umbrella organization. And I'm also, yes, association, and that's where I'm a leader to this organization currently. And 1/3, actually currently it's 20 municipalities that have joined the Covenant of Mayors. With their actual real dedication, what will they do? Because actually, even if not to join Covenant of Mayors, I think it's inevitable to progress, because just standing alone and doing nothing will result in poor situation when it comes to climate neutrality and energy efficiency. So what do we actually do in our municipalities? I think that was many times already on the stage by previous speakers and previous panelists said that transportation, public transportation, accounts for a lot of pollution that we have in cities. And yes, Lithuanian municipalities either procure electric buses. My municipality, by the end of this year, in its public transportation park, will have already 20% of buses run by electricity alone. Other municipalities are following, and it brings a lot of challenges, of course, because you have to have the grid, you have to have the power stations, and so on and so on. And when it comes to buying a new electric vehicle or electric bus, the prices are not so easy to cope with. But still, in a way, there are other business models that some of the municipalities actually follow. They don't invest themselves, they don't put the real capital and money into procuring buses. But there are business models working, I think, both in Lithuania and elsewhere, where are companies providing the services, that they provide the services of the electric bus, and you actually pay not for the bus, but for the kilometers it runs. So there's a set fixed amount for the kilometer of the bus, electric bus operation, and you just purely pay for that monthly. And that gives an opportunity for you not to have at one single time a huge investments in this public transportation sector. Renovation. It was many times talked already that the renovation is also one of the keys. So we have huge, I would say, historical leftovers of flat houses. It's from the Soviet Union, and those are absolutely energy-wise insufficient. You have to renovate them to make them possible to live in, to look better. So renovation is another path that we're going steadily, percent by percent, house by house. Actually, in my town alone, we have 310 block houses, and already by this moment we have already renovated like 32% of them. But yeah, it's still a way to go, and I think that citizens and the owners of this real estate are looking forward. Next to it, we're trying to change the approach of mobility of citizens in the towns. We're saying, okay, let's make pathways, let's make bicycle ways, let's make some ways for e-scooters. Try to get the citizens out of their cars and try to somehow push them, motivate them to use those electric buses that we bought or we will buy, or use other means of transportation. We promote that walking is good for your physical health, that cycling is good, that you don't necessarily need, because it's a small town and we call it a 7-8 minute town, you can relocate from one point to another easily, so why don't you really need a car for doing that? So promoting sustainable mobility while introducing pathways, cyclical ways, and other means of transportation that is an alternative to what we usually do with our personal car, is also one of the key elements in our transition. Collaboration with business is also was mentioned by colleagues here, that you can't just alone as a local authorities can do all the work. If the general public doesn't understand what you're doing, if the business is not involved, then most probably you will have to, battle just for yourself and for maybe general public, but not necessarily this battle will succeed due to the lack of understanding, due to the lack of engagement. So of course, all parties, I think both in Riga and Portugal, we try to involve businesses and say, okay, that's a common goal. How can you put your share into it? Is it that you're producing fertilizer and you're producing a lot of smoke and CO2? Is it that you're a canteen or a restaurant? What you can do? So a restaurant can say, and we suggest them, okay, what at least you can do is cope with your food waste. Don't put it into the general, let's say, trash bins and throw it away. If you're as we have a fertilizer company, what can you do? What can be done? So we're installing wind generators, solar power, just to use as less those mineral fossil fuels in their daily production. What we also building, and maybe that's something similar, but not everywhere the same. We have our national government decided that we have to make those communities for energy. I mean, renewable energy communities. What does it actually mean? Community for renewable energy. So we do understand that we are all consumers of energy. More or less, is it heat or is it electricity? So we collect schools, businesses, and say, okay, all together we have a land plot of 10 hectares or whatever, we can install 10 megawatts of solar panels. Let's do it together and let's share. We can produce ourselves the needed energy, and we don't necessarily have to be dependent on the market, because there were a few years later in the past where the electricity price were enormous, and you had no other options just to purely buy it from the market on the price it was given away. So we're building and establishing currently those renewable energy communities and trying to involve those that are in need of electricity, saying, okay, we can have a field of solar panels and it will be a sufficient amount for all of us. Yes, there were previously yesterday given good examples of how Estonia is doing and what is the current trend, and also where businesses that is involved is also doing a lot. And actually, when you look at the landscape a few years ago of my town, of my municipality, there were no windmills. Now you're going, there's a windmill, there's a windmill, and we're producing a lot of electricity, and a lot of hectares of land will be covered by solar panels in upcoming years. Of course, problems are similar everywhere, I think in Latvia and in Estonia and Lithuania, but we have to, of course, adapt the power grid, because we have to try to make it stable, and the grid is not actually adopted to the transitions that are on the way. And yes, there are some also interesting projects that can be seen elsewhere in Scandinavian countries. I know I think that's quite often that you see. But for instance, even in my town, we are now doing a study to what extent when you have those wastewater treatment company that takes the wastewater, treats it, there you have the sludge, then you At the end, you give the water after that is being treated to rivers or to the sea, but it contains some temperature when you give it away. So why won't we take the temperature and use it for heating? So, and actually we're making a study, and maybe if it's a possible investment field, we will implement it as a project. But we all understand, it was emphasized by Jānis, that financing those interesting and good and relative projects is always an issue, because we have priorities, current priorities, I think that to increase spendings for our military needs, and it's sometimes that you're at the point that you have ideas, you have projects, but you lack finances. And it's not something that I will tell you that it's new to you, that being energy sustainable and being sustainable, using green energy, it's not always a business case. Actually, you have to make those investments, and they're not always that there's a cash back and it's a business case. If it would, most probably many of us would just simply go to look for finance in the bank, and if it's a business case, it pays us off in 5 years. Whew, let's do it. Why not to do it? But usually it's 10 and more years, so that it's a concern for municipalities and their budgets. Yes, so all in all, to conclude, I think that I can echo my colleagues that previously talked. We're doing quite a lot. I'm not sure whether we're doing sufficiently enough. The goals are set both by the European Commission. We have our national goals, and we most probably want to succeed in fulfilling them, but there are complications. And finalizing, I think that as many participants and were already talking about it, engagement of the civil society or the general public is very important. So therefore, we also use slogans and try to convince, try to motivate, because it's not sometimes very easy, because we have an older generation. Even myself, I do remember when in my house we had only one bin for everything, for plastics, paper, glass. It was just one bin and that's it. And now, how many bins do we have at home right now? Like 5? Plastic, paper, metals, food waste, textiles, and for older generation and some grandpa who's maybe 85 years old and who used to live in previous times, he has to adapt, and it's not always easy, to adapt. So, but we're also next to those, I would say, hard work projects and funding and so on. We're trying to motivate, to promote the inclusion of the general public. So that's also a very needed point when it comes to success or a failure of some transitions. So thank you all. That's it from my side.
Thank you very much, all the panelists and dear audience. You see here 3 excellent examples of the different part of Europe, from the south, from Guimarães, city of Riga, to the Jonava, from Lithuania, and I have a lot of questions, but if I check to the watch, I see that's most important part of moderator. What I learned from Johannes Tralla is keep the time, and you have we have finished at 3 o'clock. But maybe if we have 1 or 2 short questions to the panelists for the audience, it is very welcome right now. But please. Its microphone is not working.
No.
Off.
No. I heard you have hydrogen buses. What kind of experiences you are sharing with us?
Yes, thank you for the question. Hydrogen buses were developed, I think even some 5 years ago or something like that. These are actually hydrogen trolley buses. The idea is that there were already innovations of the hydrogen buses, but the program asked for innovation. Therefore, it's hydrogen trolley buses, because trolleys also there have some places in the route where they need to disconnect from the electricity, and then there's possibility to go there. I think the experience in general is that this was very good research, but at the moment I think that electrification is much actually cheaper from the municipality budget or things like that. But we are very glad to host you and to go there and to show the technology used. Another thing maybe what is the problem is that in this case this is gray hydrogen. Therefore, it's also similar as the Tallinn city with the natural gas buses. Not the best moment, and the price for the kilogram of hydrogen it's quite expensive.
Okay, and I heard Dalila, you say, what is trolleybus? It is similar like tram, but there's no reels.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to comment something?
Yes, I want to do a question for the
Riga.
Jānis.
Okay.
Riga. Oh, Riga.
Yes, you are World Heritage also. The city.
Probably, actually, I have to ask my colleagues in the audience. Yeah, we
Because
have
I want
old
to
centers as UNESCO World Heritage. If that was the question.
Because Guimarães are also World Heritage, and we are several rules that we cannot make something in the buildings that was in the zone of the World Heritage. You are also these rules? Mm-hmm. Because I'm asking this because you can put solar panels in the roofs of that. Because I saw. We have the same in the old town, and the zone of the UNESCO heritage is quite large, and there's the zone and also the buffer zone, you could say. And in the zone which consists of old town, the idea is that it's not that you cannot you probably you need to synchronize this with the board which takes care of this heritage before doing that. It's not forbidden.
It's not 100% forbidden. You can find solutions how to do that. If people walking through the streets don't see this, or this is hidden underneath somewhere, for example, for heat pump outdoor boxes, if it's like hidden somewhere, it's okay. But the biggest problem is for the building where all the facades is.
And with the efficient windows, the same. Same
the,
problem?
Yeah, you need to renovate them, not install new ones. But some of the buildings are doing like this, that you renovate the outdoor window and you install the double glazed inside. Yes, so you achieve total coefficient very good.
The same problem, okay.
So Tallinn have the UNESCO too, but I can recommend you the one Estonian company, Solar Roof, who is make roof for the solar materials, and this is for the Harku county where the share is there, and this is really what the Estonia use in the this World Heritage region. This is really something, and this is growing, like fast-growing company with make roofs with solar, and especially from this UNESCO heritage. Okay. Later I can contact you with the guy from the Estonian Municipal Union Municipality of Harku County. But let's summarize. I think most important what is going on in different cities in Lithuania, Latvia, and Portugal, in Guimarães, it is what really, Joaquim, you see. This is participant of the citizens, participant of the enterprises. I'm really surprising this 100 enterprises contract. This is really what I took with me here. What you, Mindaugas, said as important as the every company level, every citizen level, understand what we doing really something for what is for us, what for us as citizen, not was as big political goals what we have, what we needed to have, but really this must be understanding at the local level, and we as citizen, as mayors, as local members of local municipalities, council member, we must speak with people, and I think the slogan of Guimarães was this: be part of it.
Yes.
This is main like summarizes our panel too. This is very important to say every citizen, every people, be part of them. And if you have communities, you can move everything. We can move development of the cities, the region, or countries, and all together to move Europe. I really thank you to be part of this panel, and give words back to Jānis, and Jānis will summarize all today. And for the audience, big applause for participants.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the panel, and thank you, Andres, for being so kind with the watch. I didn't manage to be on time, but you actually saved us 7 minutes, which I couldn't do. Ladies and gentlemen, time to wrap up indeed. Now, it is evident that the energy transition in cities is well underway, but we must acknowledge the challenges that remain. Cities in the energy transition have an array of excellent alternatives to fossil fuels, as we discussed today. It may be solar, it may be wastewater heat. Why not even dig deeper and use geothermal energy? Additionally, innovative solutions like perhaps using seawater can be explored where feasible, though significant investment and also bureaucratic hurdles can impede progress, as we heard from Utilitas. Municipalities certainly play a pivotal role in orchestrating renovation efforts. Buildings consume a lot of energy. We can save a lot of that energy if we use deep renovating solutions, and one of the ways to increase the pace is renovating block by block, and there we certainly see a big role in the local municipality, because organizing a renovation in your own apartment building can be a challenge. Renovating a whole street is impossible for someone just living in an apartment building and wishing for less smaller energy cost. Now, the implementation of smart energy management systems, something that I'm very passionate about, which we perhaps didn't have so much time to discuss, can further help save energy once proper insulation and ventilation systems are in place, and I can't really wait when artificial intelligence starts controlling our heating and cooling. Hopefully things will improve a lot, but who knows, the computer can sometimes say no and turn off our heating completely. But there is, I think, a great potential there to save energy in times when we're not at home, for instance. Crucially, citizens' engagement is important. The energy transition hinges on the willingness and active involvement of citizens, and this engagement extends to also fostering new urban mobility solutions, because next to buildings, transportation holds a huge margin in emissions, and we can't reach the targets in cities without really rethinking our urban mobility. Of course, hydrogen buses may come in the future, when green hydrogen is also available instead of gray hydrogen. But electrification currently certainly makes sense. I know Tallinn has plans in this, Riga, we heard. But also the use of biogas, but why not bicycles, is something we should probably move forward to. Lastly, forging strong partnerships with national governments who have access to EU funds is important. We heard that a lot throughout the day, but also collaboration between cities on the local arena, but also internationally, is something that hopefully this event also can contribute to. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that our discussions have sparked new ideas for advancing your cities towards a greener and cleaner future. As we conclude this event, I kindly invite you to join us for our farewell drinks and the networking. And once again, thank you very much for your active participation. Thank you.